Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome in. You guys wanted more forts, and we've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WTF 3v3 Co-op Tournament. As we will be playing, well, we'll be casting some great games, some great matches here, as I'm looking forward to it. If you guys want to check the bracket out for yourself, make sure to use that bracket command. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started, shall we? It looks like the cat herding on this end is almost finished, as we'll be jumping into the matches here in a moment. So shout out to everyone stopping by so soon, as we are just getting started here. Alright, I am looking forward to getting these matches going, because it's been a while since we've had a co-op tournament, and it's looking like it's going to be one of the more chaotic tournaments available because of the format. I am very much so looking forward to this one. It's actually got quite a lot of the players that you guys know and love. You see Pro Aim on there, one of the favorite teams in the Forts Pro League. And, well, I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but a couple of the other teams have some of your guys' favorite players. Hello one, hello all. I see you guys in chat. And now you guys see yourselves on screen. Is that an Archie emote? Hello there. That man's emotes are crazy at times. Well, hello there, Jack Taylor, coming in and rejoining the incursion for 22 months. Congratulations! You've regained access to all those beautiful emotes here on the channel, as well as your special access role on Discord, but you knew that already. 22 months, just shy of 2 years. Coming in close. Alright. Looks like the players are here, so we'll be jumping into it momentarily. Archie's a good streamer. He is. Very different pattern than what we have here, but very good nonetheless. I appreciate him. I appreciate him a lot. Alright, players are in the lobby, the teams are made, just gotta make sure that every team has their appropriate commander and everything is all set up, and then we'll be starting off in the first match momentarily. Oh my. We have one of the German teams up first. The fun words. My. This tournament has actually been quite fun, it would seem. The cat herding began a while ago, and it's been chaotic to start with. High seas content this 20? I'm not sure, actually. I will have to check. I will have to check the tournament page here. I only just, to put perspective in, I only started getting information about this about 2.5 hours ago. So I haven't gone over everything. It looks like there will be no high seas in this particular one, which makes me a little bit sad. High seas is a good seas. Those pesky German words. Those pesky Germans are the ridiculously long words, but they're so much fun. I actually got to spend some time with family over the past couple days. Learned a lot more German words. And that's, well, I'm sure you guys will have fun poking fun at me for it. Call him a casual gamer in Diablo 4 New World to see him melt. Mans, I will call him a casual gamer in anything. Just to give him the sass he so desperately deserves. I think it's more. Nah, it's a good time. I'm actually looking forward to jumping on a Diablo 4. On release, I'm not particularly hyped about it so much as I expect to have a lot of friends jumping into it, and that's what Diablo is best played alongside. Which players will we see today? Well, we'll find out in a moment. I could spoil it. I didn't have an opportunity to set up a nice Teams page, which is really rather unfortunate. I'm not sure if the bracket command shows the teams if we click into it. It does not, unfortunately. So I can go ahead and list them off. We have a couple teams here. Let's see. The Anti-Turbine Alliance has Benzin Preisvergleiche, Bowser, and Alessio. Team Bar is Ethan, Cloud, and Taichu. Team Pro Aim is Mateo, Malme, and MCC. And Team Stabilizer is Alex D, Firework, and Paufu. Guten Tag is a good day. Yes. Guten Tag, Guten Abend. It's closer to Guten Abend in Germany now, yeah? Oh yes, let's experience Schadenfreude at Incursus' expense, the most German pastime ever. Hey, it's a good time. I totally get it. Completely understandable. And now, I believe we have... They are finishing up the bands, the pick bands. And then we will have the match. Diablo is always great fun to play, great lineup. Yeah. The Diablo is... I never really got into the Diablo series, but I did have a lot of friends that played it, and I know they're all going to be jumping right back into it. Like to put it in perspective, frankly, Diablo is quite popular. To put it in perspective, like I went over to a restaurant the other day and just got into a random conversation with the waitress because that's kind of how I do, and even they were saying, yeah, we're going to play Diablo, and I mentioned I was going to do it, and now I have a new battle tag to add to the friends list. Good morning, Andromeda, welcome. How do you say gas price comparison in German? It's on the screen. Was on the screen. Hello there, Frida, welcome in. Wait, guys, it's time as we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go into round 1 of the WTF 3 versus 3 tournament. Here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. Anti-Turbine Alliance with Bowser, der Benzin Preisvergleiche, and Alessio will be playing as the Spook Commander. The Spook Commander, known for its information games and perhaps more useful, it's known for its resource acquisition abilities by stealing resources from the opponents. They'll be looking to do something that's akin to a standard build order, I say, as if they aren't doing base redesigns that would make even the greediest of pinch fists blush. But in other case, they'll be playing against their opponents, Team Pro Aim. Team Pro Aim, players Malme, MCC, and Mateo, under the moniker Helicopter. Well, they're playing as the Eagle Eye Commander. Eagle Eye Commander, fairly standard in terms of build orders typically. The Eagle Eye, with its latest round of changes and reworks, actually allows this to utilize heavy weapons in a manner that is incredibly devastating. And, well, we're going to be seeing, it looks like cannons come out of Team Pro Aim, hopefully looking to utilize those dual reloads in order to get massive burst damage onto their opponents. It looks like Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is looking to not let the game get so far with the with what is going to be an early game rush tactic coming out of Anti-Turbine Alliance. It's going to be double rocket, double EMPs upgraded into rockets with a flak into a shotgun. They're looking to end the game before this even gets started. Team Pro Aim should have some idea this is happening. They are not. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is not playing as Phantom. That means that they will have their upgrades discovered. Everything is scoutable. If Team Pro Aim looks at Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, they will have some significant semblance of idea what's going on here. And this is going to look rough for Team Pro Aim. Now, Team Pro Aim is reacting accordingly. Now that they've gotten hit by the first EMP, they do have some idea of what's going on. So they're looking forward to shut this down. Now, what makes this interesting is that Team Pro Aim, just like their opponents, has 3 players controlling each fort. This also means that they can have a dedicated player just sitting on the sniper, perhaps getting APM to rival that of the ultra-hard AI in our AI tournaments. This is going to be a potentially devastating event for Anti-Turbine Alliance. If Pro Aim can actually get the space to have snipers on the field constantly, they could potentially just shut down every single bit of aggression out of Anti-Turbine Alliance. The question is, will they be able to do that, as Team Pro Aim is very much so in the back foot? Snipers, as good as they are, well, they don't solve the problem of rockets coming across the sky, nor do they deal with shotguns particularly well, and those are 2 things the Anti-Turbine Alliance is bringing to bear. You see the sniper takes out 1 rocket, but without taking the rocket launcher itself, there's not a whole lot they can do. So now we really just need to see if they can continue. Team Pro Aim's goal here is to get to heavy weapons and actually have a cannon ready to fire. As we see, that's exactly what's happening, as they have just placed a cannon directly beneath their core, and if they can keep it alive long enough for it to construct, they will deal actual heavy weapons damage to their opponents. Of course, Anti-Turbine Alliance, playing as a spoof commander, can see inside Team Pro Aim's base, exactly as if they were spectators. So they see everything we see here right now, and this puts Team Pro Aim on a clock, because, well, Anti-Turbine Alliance is going to be hunting that cannon and looking to deal as much damage as possible. You guys know rockets are great at dealing damage. I've said it before and I'll say it again. These rockets are some of the highest damage output weapons in the game in terms of damage per second. It's given that the damage output comes in the form of splash damage, well, it just causes a massive resource drain on the target forts, requiring extensive repair bills and repairs that will drain the opponent's metal all the way to 0. Typically, once your base is hit by 3 rockets simultaneously, you are in a death spiral immediately. You need someone else to come save you, because you cannot repair faster than those rockets will deal damage. Now, Anti-Turbine Alliance only has 2 rocket launchers, but that's okay. They don't need a 3rd immediately, because they can cause massive damage to their opponents with just 2 and set them so far back that Anti-Turbine Alliance can just do whatever it is they want. And well, at this point, what they want is to add in buzzsaws, add in some extra turbines, and deal even more damage. But what's this? With that little extra difference left, just the difference between 2 and 3 rockets, Pro Aim has successfully completed a cannon. Now, of course, Team Pro Aim wants to be holding off on firing this until they get the double shot, if they can survive long enough to do that. But if they can get that double shot, they can deal actually serious damage. Mind you, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance doesn't have much in the way of defenses. They've sacrificed their defense. They've sacrificed their economy. They don't even have a fifth mine. They're here to deal massive damage as the first cannon round comes out. And, well, splashes mostly harmlessly into the front of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. But as you can see, Anti-Turbine Alliance already can't repair the damage from that cannon. They're out of money already. They don't have that much income. If Pro Aim can survive a little bit longer, just get a couple more shots on target, they will be able to break through. It's just a matter of time. Oh, through an open door, hits the internals of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, but nothing critical was lost, as another set of buzzsaws fly across the field. An AP sniper looking to hit anything it can, but does find double doors shutting all of that down. The rockets fly, the rockets land. Core damage has been dealt. Team Pro Aim down to 94% HP on their core. They can take another hit like that. They can take a great many hits like that, but there is limited time. Looks like Anti-Turbine Alliance now investing into their mines. A little bit more income once again. Let's see how this progresses. At this point, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance desperately needs to crank up the firepower. Either tech switch out, turn to defensive, where they could try to rush to weapons and survive an inevitable cannon onslaught from Pro Aim, or they can ramp up the damage, but maybe too little too late. Double cannons breaches the core of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, bringing it down to 89%. Neck and neck for damage output. We have 89% HP on Team Anti-Turbine Alliance versus Pro Aim's 80% remaining. This is getting a little tense. As expected, the cannon coming out from the successful cannon from Team Pro Aim here on the right side is managing to fight back, and fight back a little bit harder than the Anti-Turbine Alliance here on the left. The Blue Fort just doesn't have the ability to maintain hits, to sustain hits from cannons time and time again. But man, the damage output, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And Team Pro Aim cannot keep taking hits like that either. It's just a matter of whose map control will come out on top. This smoke launcher is trying desperately to suppress Pro Aim, as Pro Aim just doesn't. They barely have enough money to repair what they have. Any amount of extra damage output from Team Anti-Turbine could potentially just end Pro Aim here. If they can get a third rocket launcher, that would just be it. Look, they can't even repair their front section here. Look at the blinking repair icons. They're out of money, as the core is protected by a single piece of armor and nothing more. It's all looking quite bad for Team Pro Aim. Their defenses are penetrated once again. Batteries are exposed. The core almost taking a direct hit from an AP sniper. Oh jeez, Pro Aim. Looks like they've got the double shot cannon ready to go, but no real opportunity to fire it. They don't have the money to afford ammunition for their cannons. They're selling off their technology in an effort to fund these cannon shells. A swing and a hit. Goes clean through the sniper door, takes out the AP sniper and a turbine. Looks like Team Pro Aim will be saving up for that double shot a second time, which I think is the correct answer here. Correct solution for them, just for optimization's sake. Oh man, is that tempting to shoot though. They desperately need damage output to stop these rockets incoming. Look at that, the top section of their base. It's breaking. One cannon shell goes out, but with no quick reload on cooldown, they will have to wait the full cycle. There we go. Anti-Turbine Alliance is constructing a second rocket in the lower section of their fort here, dangling down. They're also selling off those buzzsaws, understanding that it's just not enough damage output. But once that second rocket comes fully online, or that third rocket comes fully online, Team Pro Aim will be at a resource deficit which is completely untenable. A machine gunner trying desperately to stay alive. And oh boy, it's having a bad day. There we go. One cannon fires. Get that sweet juicy reload. Did they fire too soon? They fired too soon. Well, that's unfortunate for them. Team Pro Aim firing too soon, scuffing the reload and missing out on the second shot, the double shot cannon, failing to proc. As here comes an EMP, but the third rocket launcher is now online for the Anti-Turbine Alliance. All they need is enough energy to fire it, which it looks like they don't have. So that's going to give Team Pro Aim an extra moment here. So they don't actually have the income to fire the third rocket, which is understandable given the massive amounts of firepower that they've been fielding so far. They saved up just a little bit, stealing some energy right out of the batteries of Team Pro Aim, using the Spook Active, and using it to fuel a rocket volley for themselves. And here we have additional turbines coming online. This should enable Team Anti-Turbine Alliance to freely fire their rockets as often as they would like. And they want it to be constant. Look at that. The EMP shutting down Team Pro Aim's cannon. If that cannon doesn't get an opportunity to fire, then there will be truly no hope for Team Pro Aim, as those rockets will lock it down and keep the damage rolling. A lucky miss. Team Pro Aim managing to dodge with their forts. The EMP goes under. This should give Pro Aim an opportunity. Oh, there's no opportunity. Team Pro Aim just doesn't have the money. They just don't have the money to fire their cannon. It does actually cost 75 metal in order to fire the cannon. It's 75 metal and 3,000 energy. Oh no, Pro Aim trying desperately, selling off every bit of internal components, just attempting to get any amount of money so they can send one volley across the world and try to stop the rockets. There is no tanking this kind of damage. You can see it getting chewed through, and there's the end. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance breaking through to victory. Well done. That's what we call massive damage. Yeah. The Anti-Termite Alliance is, well, a strong showing here in round one. I want to show you guys what it looks like to experience destruction via rocket devastation. Just right at the end here. If you guys want to see what it looks like to death by rocket, slow, gradual digging. Not enough money to rebuild, even if they wanted to, as they watch piece by piece fall apart. Nothing reconstructed until the shotgun comes clean through and finishes them off. That is what we call a good match. And here we're off to round 2 in this best of 3. On the left-hand side, it is Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. The teams have not been swapped, no sides. Here we have, it is Anti-Turbine Alliance on Hill Fort. Starting off early, like really early, with an incendiary mortar. I like this. I very, very much so like this early start. Early start makes me happy, especially with the mortars, because they are near and dear to my heart. And, well, if it isn't Team Pro Aim on the right-hand side. In this mirror match, wouldn't you know it? The mirror match between these two players, between these two teams, is going to be the Armadillo Commander. The Armadillo Commander, known for its defensive capabilities. Specializes in not much. Rather than specializing heavily into one thing, it has a bunch of bonuses that help out kind of just help out everything. Oh, jeez. Already touching the core. Team Pro Aim down to 95%, losing some turbines along the way. This I like. This I like a lot. Another hit. 91%. Oh, this makes me happy to watch. But yes, the Armadillo Commander has gotten a bit more popular recently, because now it has faster. Not only does it have the same benefits as it had previously, with its bonus to metal, as to say, metal armor is lighter, like it is physically lighter, so it doesn't weigh as much, doesn't cause as many collapses. It's about half price, so you can build much more metal in the base reliably. And also, now with the buffs, you get faster doors. So those metal armored doors actually open very quickly, which enabling you to use larger doors without having to eat the penalty for having larger doors. As, honestly, this one singular incendiary mortar has done incredible damage to the opponents. Like, that's amazing. Love to see it. Either way, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is not going for early game aggression, like, at all. This is just basic harassment, which is kind of the objective of the mortar. The incendiary mortar is not an aggressive weapon, it's a harassment weapon, used to mostly just eliminate turbines and annoy their opponents. As Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is going directly to cannons, and is actually behind Team Pro Aim in the cannon rush. I suspect this is because they went for the upgrade sensor first, as opposed to going directly to cannons. So Team Pro Aim actually does have a lead in the cannons. In fact, they have a cannon already placed. It has been sniped and hit a couple times. It's almost dead, which is really rather unfortunate to them. But the left-hand side doesn't even have their their cannon production facility online yet. Still a quarter of its way remaining in the completion. So Team Pro Aim may actually end up with an advantage here, despite all the delay tactics, despite everything. If Pro Aim can manage to get very real damage onto their target, onto their opponents, this might be a bad time for Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. Is look at this. There is exactly one piece of armor in front of their core. That cannon can drop shot over the hill into the core and end the game outright. Well, not anymore. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is aware of that weakness and is patching it up. But still, we have turbines here, vulnerable to damage, at least vulnerable to direct fire. There's quite a lot of places for this cannon to deal very real damage, and given that Anti-Turbine Alliance has no weapons of their own, Pro Aim may just have run of the map for the foreseeable future to do whatever they want, and Team Turbine Alliance doesn't seem to have any way of dealing with that. At least, not yet. However, look at this. That is 6 upgraded mines. They are going to have plus 50% metal income. That's basic resource income. Over 50% more than their opponents. And that is a massive benefit. That I cannot understate that. The amount of resource income between these two teams is huge. If Pro Aim does not end this game relatively quickly, and by that I mean within the next 2 to 3 minutes, Anti-Turbine Alliance is just going to run away with it. Absolutely run away with it. Because you just cannot compete with that kind of eco differential. It's too much. They're running at a Team Pro Aim is running at an economy deficit well beyond anything that's sustainable. This is the kind of strategy that Armadillo specializes in. Massive armor, super late game plays, high eco, and inevitability. And they're playing it pretty well. I think Team Pro Aim is looking to use Armadillo just to rush cannons a bit safer. Which, you know, fair enough. But look at that! They had the eco to spend on 2 energy shields. With 2 energy shields, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance just face tanked those 2 cannons. It may already be too late for Team Pro Aim, despite having 2 cannons on the field. If Team Anti-Turbine Alliance already has the spare resources to replace both of those energy shields, and they're floating resources, like they're actually floating, they just floated about 300 metal. Anti-Turbine Alliance is so rich that even these 2 cannons cannot break them alone. They need a 3rd cannon to break through this, or a lucky shot. Look at the thickness of those defenses. Look at it. That's dummy thick. You can't break that with just 2 cannons. That's 4 layers of armored door, and I'm not even going to try to... That's an uncountable amount of... I'm not going to count that much layers of wooden armor. That's not going to happen. Whereas over here, we have Team Pro Aim. They've got enough to take 2 cannons, but that's just barely. And certainly not enough metal income to replace it rapidly. And wouldn't you know it, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is going to have a 2nd cannon online in about 30 seconds. I think the only hope Team Pro Aim now has in order to break through Anti-Turbine Alliance is to get a howitzer online. They're trying for mortars. You know, honestly, heavy mortars, if they get them upgraded to heavy mortars, they deal great damage. They deal more DPS than a cannon. That is... Anti-Turbine Alliance literally just adding in a 3rd energy shield because they can. They are that rich. The problem with using mortars on this map is exactly what we see here. These machine gunners set deep behind the hill are immune to direct fire, which makes them pretty much immune to damage on this map, period. And without any kind of way of dealing with those machine gunners, the mortars just can't, they don't have an opportunity to break through. There's no chance. And we see exactly the same layout here for Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. There is no means here to get those mortars through in any reliable or meaningful sense. 2nd cannon now operational for Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. I suspect they're going for a howitzer next. Yeah, look at that. They're just testing the AA and find it not lacking. Double cannon slams into Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, and no damage was dealt. Big scary. Very big scary. Wow. Those mortars actually made it through. That's unexpected. And taking out two energy shields along the way. That's a lot of damage for 2 mortars. It is a lot of damage for 2 mortars. If they can get that 2nd cannon through right now, Team Pro Aim has an opportunity to deal very real damage, but they don't have the energy income to fire their cannons. With the energy drain from those mortars, the energy drain from their own cannons, and not enough storage, Team Pro Aim has blundered, leaving themselves unable to fire their cannons at the time when they had an opportunity to deal very real damage to their opponents. This is not an ideal situation. It looks like Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is going with the triple cannon strategy. I'm partial to this strategy. It enables some quite focused fire with some heavy-hitting weapons. Honestly, Anti-Turbine Alliance, yeah, they're keeping an eye on all of this blinkage, but really they need more and proper stability tech. This is not how you generally want to be doing this. This is patchwork, and they need another node here. They should probably lean their fort back a little bit more to make use of this node and then add some proper stability tech behind, because they don't want to be risking a collapse due to their own greed, especially given that they're such a so they got very large lead. Oh jeez, there it is. There's the extra node that'll give them the space they need, the weight distribution they require. The extra fulcrum to lean their fort back upon. Jeez. With the thickness of the base, those cannon shells are actually dealing significant damage due to the massive repair cost, but honestly, it's still just not getting close to breaking through. They have so much money and the ability to repair quite quickly. The third cannon comes online for Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. This might just break Pro Aim if they can line up their shots to all focus fire into a single spot. And third cannon firing. Team Pro Aim hitting 0 metal for a moment, but is able to repair. If Pro Aim gets this howitzer online, which it looks like they might, then they could potentially have enough burst damage to break through the Anti-Turbine Alliance defenses, at least for a single shot. Cannon flies. Second round from Pro Aim. And howitzer win. Another 10 seconds or so. The next volley out of Team Pro Aim should be able to do the howitzer damage. Team Pro Aim's core taking a light dusting. A little bit minimal on the defenses there. It takes its splash damage, knocking it down to 66%. Whoa. That howitzer's ready to go. Looks like Mateo's going to be sitting on it and firing it momentarily. Ooh, over penetration. Pro Aim's defenses have been breached. Howitzer flies. Slams. But even with the double cannon follow-up, Team Pro Aim cannot breach the defenses of the Anti-Turbine Alliance. Now, mind you, that did a significant amount of damage, even deforming the base somewhat, but not enough to cause anything to actually break. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance cannot immediately repair the damage dealt. Frankly, the howitzer double cannon combo did a significant amount of damage. Enough damage that the Anti-Turbine Alliance cannot continuously maintain taking those hits. They cannot sustain that kind of damage, but they could eat at least one of those volleys. They ate the first volley without significant concern. They had enough reserves in their stockpile to rebuild immediately. They simply don't want to be taking that kind of damage a second time. And now, well, with the anti-air coming online for Anti-Turbine Alliance, that howitzer got completely shut down. With the howitzer not landing a second time, it looks like Anti-Turbine Alliance has succeeded in keeping Pro Aim away. Now, Anti-Turbine Alliance adding in a fourth cannon. I mean, okay. At some point, you just gotta keep firing. Right now, these cannons are not firing because they're spending their money elsewhere. At some point, you've got to fire your weapons. You've got 3 cannons, and they're not constantly firing. You guys are spending your money on things that are not shooting the opponents, and is letting Team Pro Aim actually proceed to do whatever they want. What they want is expand their energy production because they're suffering economically. Oh, jeez. Over-penetration Team Pro Aim doesn't have any defenses in that element of the base because there's nothing there to defend. There we go. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance actually firing all of their weapons, taking out, well, nothing but splashing damage around. If they can keep up that kind of rate of fire, they will end up doing massive damage via repair bill expenditures. Anti-Turbine Alliance face tanking a howitzer shell. Not exactly what they were looking to do, but with no deformation, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance simply repairs immediately without any significant consequence. Looks like the Anti-Turbine Alliance's last cannon, or should I say their fourth cannon, is coming online. Now aiming directly for the core, doing a little bit more damage, knocking it down to 62%. Okay, question from chat. What's with the internal open doors? These doors are made out of armor. Armor is more sturdy than wood. Wood breaks a little bit easier than armor, so rather than using metal to rely for the foundation to attempt to stiffen their base up a little more, they are using metal to keep the stresses away so that we don't have blinking, breaking struts. The reason why they are open is so that if anything hits them, like say a straight projectile, the projectile will pass clean through without damaging the strut. This is a load-bearing strut, and you don't want your load-bearing structure to take any kind of damage. And away it goes, and double cannon follow-up, but no significant damage. It is time once again for Anti-Turbine Alliance to fire their weapons, return volley, and deal as much damage as they can. Or at least try to. You can do it, you've got the energy production to fire those weapons. Make them go away. And 4, there it is. Heavy hits. But Team Pro Aim has been left alone for so long that, yes, they can't quite fund the repairs right now. But they've had such a large bank that they've been building massive chunks of metal. Massive armor components. Yeah, sure, you blew them off, but if you don't fire your weapons again, then they will simply rebuild them. There you go. Der Benzin hopping on those cannons. Actually breaking through those armor pieces, taking out a turbine in the process. Look at that. Team Pro Aim not quite able to afford those repairs. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. These armadillo battles. Be more aggressive with your cannons. Der Benzin coming in. There you go. There's those cannon shells we want to see. 2 more. You can do it. 2 more shots. 2 more shots. I think he's waiting to group fire. Ooh, a self-destruct on the howitzer. Causing internal damage. Massive. Oh, that's it. Oh, catching the falling fort at the last moment. It's not enough. Team Pro Aim goes down to self-inflicted damage. That is really rather unfortunate. Well done, well done. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance defeating their opponents in a 2-0 fashion in this best of 3, and moving on to the next round. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to see what happened there for yourselves, well, come check this out as we see these cannons coming down in real time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties here. I'm going to have to restart the stream. But don't you worry, it will be coming back online in approximately 60 seconds. So in the meantime, we'll be setting up the next lobby as the players are joining in. They aren't quite ready yet, so in the meantime, don't worry. You guys will see a stream timeout screen for about 60 seconds, and then we'll be back in. During that time, we'll be setting up all the cat herd and getting the match ready to go. Doing the pick bands, and we'll catch you guys up on the other side. But don't go anywhere. We've still got more matches coming soon. By soon, I mean like right now. There's still 3 more matches to go. All of which, best of 3s. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Alright, so we are still awaiting the players to finish the readying process, so don't worry, nothing has been missed. Okay. Players are in the lobby. Picks and bans are happening now. the meantime, let's go ahead and check out the bracket. Remember, you guys could use the bracket command to see this bracket yourself. Last match, we just finished up the Anti-Turbine Alliance, facing against Team Pro Aim. Anti-Turbine Alliance winning their best of 3, 2-0. Next up, we'll have Bar versus Stabilizer. Let's see, Bar versus Stabilizer. These are players that I believe you guys know and love. Team Bar, Eaton, Cloud, and Taichu will be facing off against Team Stabilizer of Alex, Firework, and Paufu. The Americans are here to game. We're finishing up the bands sequence right now. We will have the commander bands online and ready to go. And with it, the next match will be set up and prepared. My. Oh, jeez. Little bit behind the scenes talk here. Every tournament I like to do a little bit of additions, iterate upon the assets and such for all these tournaments, and I'm quite disappointed as I didn't have the opportunity to iterate upon the tournament settings and systems this time around, so I'm just rolling with 2.5 hours of basic configuration, which does make me a little sad. But, it is what it is. We'll have plenty of time to upgrade things for the next tournament, as well as the Ford's Pro League playoffs. The season finals. Let us go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys came in here earlier, speaking of German. But if you guys want to check out the German cast of these matches, Salzwerk is currently live on Twitch, so make sure to check him out if you guys want to see these very same matches shoutcasted in the native German language. Let us go. Alright, so it looks like everyone is ready to go. This match is made. Time is up. Let's jump right into it. And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, once more into the fray. Here on the left-hand side, it is Team Bar, playing as the Seep Commander in this mirror match. Oh no. Oh boy, we're gonna have some early game memes, early game madness. In vanilla 1v1 co-op playoffs against their opponents, Team Stabilizer. Also playing as the Seep Commander, they're going to be going for missiles, because what else do you do when you're SEEP but go for missiles? That's all you got. That's the whole point of SEEP. And it's a good time. They're very good at it. They're very, very good at it. In German, would you rather be here? I have had... So, this last week, I have spent... Oh, Salzburg seems to be having some technical difficulties. I've fixed those. Ha! Well, rip Salzburg. Okay. Yes, no, I actually just spent this last week with family. And, well, they're German. Like, very German, which is comedic to me. Just because, you know, the tonality between the German tongue and the American language. American English is like a singing language by comparison to native Germany. It's very flat. German language is very flat, monotonous. It sounds almost like the speaker is tired. Which is even funnier when they're obviously very exasperated or like frustrated or emotional. It's like very angry German. It's this strange appearance of being low energy and tired and also extremely agitated. It's hilarious. Makes me happy. As this match is just starting off, Team Stabilizer launching the first volley of their double swarm missiles. Swarm missiles, what I'd like to describe as a... Swarm missiles is what I like to describe as a hybrid weapon. They are not a harassment weapon. They can do actual damage. However, they're also not a heavy weapon. They're not designed for breaking bases. You could fire a bunch of them, they're not going to deal meaningful structural damage. They're what I consider to be a hybrid weapon, the way I like to describe them, in that they are harassment weapons that, when spammed out in groups of 2 or 3, can deal actual damage. So we'll see here. It's over. Just like that. Just knowing how to use your hybrid weapons can end the game. 3 minutes, 19 seconds before those nukes even come out, where Swarm's Team Bar closes in for the victory. Well done, well done. Round 1 goes to Team Bar. Now that's a good time. You guys want to see exactly what that looks like, what that swarm missile solution solves, the kind of problems that swarm missile solution solves. Well, let's check it out right now in your favorite slow motion effect. Team Stabilizer not so stable after that set of rockets. Well done. Let's go, let's go. Don't worry, you guys haven't missed anything. The teams are setting up their bands for the next round. Next round will be on Battlegrounds 1v1. A question from chat: what is the gimmick of this tournament? This is a 3v3, a co-op tournament, but it's being played on a 1v1 map. That means all 3 players are controlling the same forts with the same resources. Basically, it means that there's a essentially unlimited APM in each fort, but that APM can be self-defeating. They will often fight with each other for it. Swarm missiles don't do meaningful structural damage. They don't, not alone. You have to get a bunch of them. That's the point of hybrid weapons. Alone, swarm missiles do not deal meaningful structural damage. But if you get multiple of them and focus fire into a spot, they can actually focus down it and deal damage to those load-bearing struts. This is why they are called hybrid weapons. This is opposed to heavy weapons, which every time you shoot will break something of value. It's very, very well done. Like, that was a clean execution for Team Bar. Archon mode? Yeah. Yes. For those with the StarCraft terminology, this is an Archon mode tournament, which, as you guys may be familiar with, is habitually hated by every player involved. But we're off once more into the fray. In this 1v1/3v3 here on the left-hand side, this time it is Team Stabilizer, getting massively destabilized in their last match. Team Stabilizer's looking to use the Eagle Eye Commander to shift it around and hopefully mix it up a little bit, yeah? Only one way to find out, as they'll be facing off against their opponents, Team Bar. Team Bar playing as the Pinchfist Commander. Pinchfist Commander known for its... going to describe it as greedy rushes. There is no rush like a Pinchfist rush, I'll put it that way. Let's see what kind of damage they can manage to do here. I am curious about the pick of Pinchfist this time around. Pinchfist on this, so mechanically the way Pinchfist works is you get full resale value for anything that you sell. So typically with Pinchfist you would just sell a majority of all of the things in the starting fort and use the money you gain to bootstrap and otherwise jumpstart your early game economy and your tech progression, and just shave off 30 seconds or so off of whatever rush you're looking to do. This is why it's known for the rushing commander. This map does not start with much stuff for you to sell off, so you're not getting that 30 seconds of boost out of it. You're just kind of not doing much, and that is not exactly what I would have expected out of Team Bar, but nevertheless, here we are. Looks like Team Bar going a little aggressive in this game as well. And Team Stabilizer knows it, trying to aim for that swarm missile. And they hit it with the drop shot. They get it a second time. And a third. It's okay, swarm missiles are kind of beefy. They don't die quick to snipers. There will be a fairly substantial repair bill though. Interesting strategy here. So Team Bar is going with a heavy weapons rush. This is not... rush is a strong word. They are going for heavy weapons, specifically cannons. The cannons are, I think, the appropriate choice. This map is known for its rampant use of rockets, and then things like the howitzers, the high explosive weaponry. It is strange to see a swarm missile here, but if they can upgrade that to a nuke, that would be terrifying. But they're not going for nuclear tech, certainly not anytime soon. This swarm missile launches just to prompt a reaction out of Team Stabilizer, but expending that extra resources on that swarm missile means that Team Stabilizer will actually be able to get ahead in the cannon rush. So we're going to have Team Stabilizer already has a cannon placed and about 1/4 of the way completed. This is opposed to Team Bar, which just now placed their cannon. So barring anything dramatic and drastic happening. Team Stabilizer with the Eagle Eye Commander will just be able to have a cannon out first, fire the first shot if they desire it, and, well, they'll have the run of the match in about 30-45 seconds. Which is where they want to be. Given the Eagle Eye Commander enables these double-shot cannons, they can bank up rounds and fire 2 cannons at once out of a single cannon. Fire 2 cannon shells out of a single cannon. And that makes for some massive burst damage, which is amazingly effective. Team Bar has a swarm missile launcher, which... not known for its damage output, I'll put it that way. Not known for its damage output at all. We'll see how things change up here. Team Stabilizer... oh, they don't have a second cannon placed. Bar has a second cannon placed. Whoa. That is a huge difference here. Team Bar, with a second cannon placed, is going to have more than double the firepower of Team Stabilizer. Double the firepower in DPS. Obviously, a Stabilizer with its burst fire cannon can punch through just as hard as Bar's double cannons here. Dual cannons here. However, with the addition of the swarm missile, that's just a little extra. A little extra. Oh no! A drop shot through the top. You hate to see it. Stabilizer chooses not to fire their cannon first. Instead, waiting for that double shot ability to come online and loses their cannon to what is, I could best describe as a lucky shot out of Team Bar. Oh, it's so painful. It is so painful. That wasn't even a shot from above. That was just a pixel perfect shot from Team Bar. For the record, cannons are not perfectly accurate weapons. They have a firing radius, like a bloom random variance. The fact that they managed to make that shot is more of a testament to the cannon's wild variance. It's not that wild. It's pretty straight, especially at these ranges. But oh no, oh no! It hurts so much. Team Stabilizer just has nothing. Their flak even got door sniped. There's nothing left for Team Stabilizer here. Bar has double cannons, a swarm missile launcher, 2 snipers, a wall of machine guns, and anything they want to do. What they want to do is put down another cannon. They're going to go up to 3 cannons here, where Team Stabilizer has enough money to rebuild another cannon. Yeah, they just started construction of a second cannon. Well, 1 cannon. They have 1 cannon. The first cannon's gone. They're down to 1 cannon. With the incoming firepower from Team Bar, Stabilizer lost all of their turbines, which, to be fair, isn't super impactful at this point, given that they have no weapons, no way of spending their energy. So, not having energy production isn't the worst thing in the world for them right now, but they will need to fix their energy production issues before their cannon comes online. But they've got another 60-ish seconds before that happens. Interesting note, Team Bar is selling off their swarm missile launcher. I don't know why, because they can't... oh, that's why. They're moving it down here. Okay. They're going up to double swarm missile launchers. Are they gonna build an upgrade center? I'm looking to see Bar build an upgrade center enabling nukes. But with the 3rd cannon coming online in a few seconds here, about 20 seconds here, Bar will have triple cannon, which is a game-ending amount of damage. Cannons, like rockets, deal substantial... I think substantial is a good word for it. It's substantial amounts of splash damage, and with that splash damage comes massive repair bill. Typically, cannons don't win the game by penetrating deep and hitting something critical, and like the core. Instead, cannons typically win the game by causing so much direct, rampant, unmitigatable damage that you just cannot repair it faster than the cannon can dish it out. And what you end up with is a base that just cannot be repaired due to lack of money, and the cannon eventually digs the core. Just like we saw the rockets do in the best of 3 before this one. The difference between something like cannons and rockets is that cannons do actually have some penetrative power. So typically, rather than doing... Oh, not again! Not like this! Okay, that one actually came from above. This was actually a drop shot. They were purposefully aiming there, and they nailed the shot. We could have seen that one coming, but... Oh, God. It's so painful. At this point, Team Bar, they're not expanding anymore. They're going straight for the kill. There's no reason to. They've got 3 cannons. They're just gonna dig to the core and end it. This is not what you want your game to look like if you're Team Stabilizer. Not at all. Here comes 2 more swarm missiles. They're not even gonna have an opportunity to upgrade these to nukes because they don't have the upgrade center yet, and they're not going to need it. The game will likely be over before it actually happens. Before nuke actually happens. This is disgusting. This went from, I'm going to describe, lucky shot into massive advantage to Team Bar, and now they're just gonna lean on Stabilizer until the game is over. It's not a great condition to be in for Team Stabilizer, and I don't see a realistic path to victory here. Like, their only path to victory includes getting a cannon down and constructed, but that is so far outside the realm of their current economic situation that I just don't see it happening. Like, Bar is upgrading, getting the upgrade center going, which is just going to increase the damage output further. Team Stabilizer has got triple snipers. They having all 3 players sit on snipers, hoping to get a door snipe on the cannon, which is technically possible. That could work. They have nothing else, so use the sniper. It's not working. They're losing the sniper duel to Team Bar. Pro tip, doored snipers beat open undoored snipers. That's typically how that works. It's just... It's painful to watch, you know? As here comes another round of swarms, specifically targeting the last turbine of Team Stabilizer. Actually manages to not get it by some surprise. Oh no. Oh, they're not even upgrading both nukes. Well, the nuclear upgrade has commenced, so that's a thing that's happening. The snipers are once more in the open for Team Stabilizer, getting some actual damage done, taking out a couple machine gunners. Triple cannon, removing those snipers. Well, that's one way to remove that turbine, just chop off the entire trunk that it's attached to. That's a thing. Oh no. Oh no. This is my question is, Bar seems to not be aiming for the core. Looks like they're not looks like Bar is actually not looking to end the game right now, which is an interesting decision. They're aiming for the sniper nest, they're aiming for the turbines. Stabilizer seems to have noticed this and is now building a cannon in front of their core, just below it. I'm guessing they're saying, well, if you're not going to kill me, I'm going to build a cannon the one place you won't shoot because you're trying to not kill me. So far, it's worked out for them. If that cannon completes, Team Stabilizer will have a reasonable opportunity to get a door snipe. God, they're adding in mortars as well. Alright, surely the mortars, the heavy mortars, is going to signal the actual attempt to end the game. Swarm missile and nuke heading directly toward the core. Mortars heading directly to the core. There you go. Cannons heading to the core. Splash damage dealt to it. Team Stabilizer down to 67% and dropping just like the defenses around their core. Yeah, that's the end. Well done, Team Bar. Obtaining victory over Team Stabilizer here in this best of 3. Winning 2-0, undefeated so far. Well done, well done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to use that bracket command so you can see what match comes next. As with Team Bar moving on to the finals, we'll have Team Pro Aim and Stabilizer coming into the bronze match. Or rather, sorry. It'll be Team 1 of Pro Aim and Stabilizer will be going to the bronze match. In the finals will be Anti-Turbine Alliance versus Bar. Why is that not updated? Okay, well, believe the bronze match comes next. All right. Now, I want to see the massive amounts of damage that Team Stabilizer got hit by at the end there, because that was a satisfying chunk. You guys want to see what it looks like to get hit by that kind of firepower all at once? Let's check it out together, shall we? In nice, beautiful replay fashion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a substantial coordinated assault from Team Bar. As we get set up for the next round. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content with more forts and more of the best matches, as we have so much more of this coming soon. And remember, if you guys want to check out these very same matches cast in the native German language, make sure to check out Salzwerk in Twitch. Alright, so next up, we have teams. It is Pro Aim versus Stabilizer. These two teams looking to find out who will be third and who will be dead last in the WTF tournament. Leaving the team alive just to suffer, followed by the Coruscant. Nah, the most of the time, so cannons are not perfectly accurate weapons. If you fire directly at the core, there's a good chance you don't hit it. That, and it's also difficult to humanly calculate the drop on the cannons at times. That's why it's always a big shock whenever a cannon fits through the tiniest of holes or the slightest of gap to actually make the shot, because cannons are simply not that precise of a weapon. They're not snipers. They're not snipers, they're not lasers. They don't hit shots. They generally hit an area. Like, it's a relatively small area, but they generally hit an area. A core being exposed on the other side of the map, you can fire 3 cannons at it and not hit it. That's just kind of how that works. It is absolutely no surprise to me that after a full volley of every weapon from Team Bar, that the core was left intact, simply because it wasn't hit directly by anything. It's a fairly normal situation to occur. All right. Doesn't 0 mean forever? No, that's -1. Or 9999999. One of the two. It's the wrong button. Think they just wanted to end it in one big attack? Very likely. That's usually the way to go. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time. And now, we're off to the races. In this bronze match to see who comes third and who comes last. Here on the left-hand side, it is Team Stabilizer. Getting knocked down to the lower brackets in the last match. They're looking to come out on top this time around, playing as the Phantom Commander. Phantom Commander. What are you going to do with Phantom Commander on this map? Well, I don't know what they're going to do with Phantom Commander on this map, but their opponents are going to have to deal with it. Team Pro Aim here on the right side, playing as the Warthog Commander. Warthog, one of the most popular commanders, with good reason. Known for its empowered heavy weapons. Typically, you go just heavy weapons, howitzers with Pro Aim, and you just slam the enemies with massive amounts of damage. Works incredibly well. Like, there's no real downside to it. It's just good. I'm looking to see what Team Stabilizer does here. Because I haven't the foggiest idea what they're going to do with Phantom. Like, this is not a map you typically see something like Phantom. Because, like, but why though? Like, what are you going to do with it? So far, it looks like both teams are going for a mirror match in terms of build order. They're doing exactly the same things. We'll see who deviates first. Team Pro Aim going for the upgrade center. Now, we have seen this many a time, especially with Phantom, where the... they're also going. I was about to say, very often we see the upgraded center from Phantom players, because the upgrade center allows you to upgrade your early game weapons and make them deal real damage. Like you take your harassment weapons, you upgrade the hybrid weapons, and then you deal game-ending amounts of damage with an array of hybrid weapons. Warthog, you generally don't see the upgrade center because you want to get to heavy weapons as quickly as possible. Looks like they're going to use nukes as their heavy weapons, which is a decision on this map. My question will be, will Stabilizer realize this? Pro Aim is not hiding these missiles at all. These are fully exposed, round and out there. Stabilizer need only observe that it is happening. I'm not convinced they've noticed yet, which is entirely on them. Question from chat: can people still connect to the middle castle? Yes. It is a meme strat. It isn't a realistic strat that you would expect to do. It costs way too much. You can't meaningfully do that, but it is technically possible. And we have seen many a match where it's happened. It's just you generally don't want to. I think Team Stabilizer has discovered the missiles as they're building flak. It is 1 flak. It is now 2 flak. Okay, I think they're taking the threat. I think they're saying it's a credible threat. We'll deal with it. Generally on this map, mortars are the obvious choice, and so everyone builds enough AA to completely invalidate any chance of mortars working. So you don't generally see mortars on this map anymore. However, we see mortars now, and they're dealing actual damage, which is impressive. It's not every day you get to see heavy mortars deal actual damage on this map. However, with Pro Aim now getting their anti-air online, I suspect those mortars are not long for this world. Okay. Team Pro Aim's nuke is coming online right now. Its sniper's not quite ready to paint target, but they're fixing that problem. We're going to see the first nuclear launch happen right now. At least in a few seconds. And by that I mean Team Pro Aim doesn't have enough money to fire the swarm missiles and the nuke simultaneously, so we'll see a stagger fire here. And I think it's going to be enough that the nuke doesn't... This man's fully sniped the flak. This man's fully door sniped the flak with a few seconds left to spare. Why are you like this? Team Pro Aim, living by their namesake, the entirety of Stabilizer's AA is gone. Both flak, all 3 machine gunners, gone. And the nuke flies cleanly across the map, slamming into the bottom of Team Stabilizer's base, dealing core damage, bringing it down to 80%. Are you kidding me with this? Good God. Good Lord. Okay, well, that happens. Now Team Stabilizer on the back foot, not relying on AA anymore, instead doing my preferred strat of just face tanking it using spaced armor. Nuke slamming harmlessly into a small little bit of wood. Okay. That's exciting. The real question I have is, what will Stabilizer do to stop this? Stabilizer needs some manner of firepower, some manner of offensive tools. Otherwise, Pro Aim will simply grow and fester unhindered. Without any kind of contest, Pro Aim will simply increase their firepower until it overwhelms Stabilizer, and Stabilizer has to do something to stop that eventuality. And so far, I'm not seeing anything out of Stabilizer that even threatens to bring Pro Aim into the into the back foot. Like, these mortars, they exist, but Pro Aim has already shut those down. I mean, look at the gunners. You have levels of gunners just all over the place. Those mortars, one made it through, which is a little unexpected, but a single mortar getting through every so often is not going to be dealing enough pressure to actually slow down Pro Aim here. Looks like Team Pro Aim is aware that Stabilizer is not bringing actual firepower to the field, and with it, they're choosing to expand their economy rather than rush to increase additional weapons. They're going up to 3 upgraded mines and probably continuing that further. I suspect they'll upgrade a turbine or 2 along the way. Perhaps upgrade these last 2 mines as well. There we go, Team Stabilizer actually investing in some swarm missiles of their own. Perhaps that may be enough to apply pressure to Team Pro Aim. But now with the increased economy, we're going to see all of these missile launchers simultaneously fired and attempt to burst through that point defense. The swarm missiles, ooh, despite the covering screens from the swarm missiles, the Duke still gets shut down. Stabilizer actually has enough anti-air to prevent those missiles from getting through. Now, Pro Aim does have some tools and means to disable the AA. It is going to be a war of map control at this point, where Stabilizer will fight Pro Aim in a sniper war, as well as a buzzsaw battle, in an effort to stop any amount of AA from being active. In parts of Stabilizer can utilize their own mortars and nukes, in part because Pro Aim desperately needs the anti-air to be cleared so their own nukes can get through. Interesting. This is not how I expected this to go. I expected cannons, I expected howitzers, and well, we're here now. And this is this is what I like to call the trap. Trying to utilize hybrid weapons underneath the big blockade in the middle. It feels like it's a good strategy because you can hit hard and you can actually deal meaningful damage, but the reality is it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a little bit of luck to actually get to the core from below. Because if you notice the sight line here, let me zoom out from here so you guys can see it. If you notice the sight line here, there it is. Zoom this down a lot. There we go. If you notice this sight line, here it is. From here. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Why did you do this? Oh my god. You notice the sight line from its right here to here. There it is. This is the core. This is the angle of missiles. You notice something interesting? There's a big old wall right here preventing the missiles from getting through, like a physical hard boundary. So these missiles have to manage to go around this white block, this solid chunk here, to get around the core, which can happen. You've seen drunk nukes go crazy. It can happen. But this is not a very efficient way of ending the game, trying to utilize weapons that go through this yellow line. And it doesn't get better if you lower the line here. Like you notice that, if you notice that they've increased this so that it actually goes to this lower point, so the missiles don't have to go down there. And that changes the angle a little bit. It still goes clean through. It still goes clean through that solid block, and it's not even close. The only time you can actually get around the block is if you hit something like this angle, which is not a realistic angle as it requires you to be down here. It's more like down here. which is not realistic. You're not getting that in the match. Like, I'm sorry, it's not happening. So that is a concern. Although we have seen some strategies that do that, because you can actually go all the way down here, and if you go down there, you can get an angle. I have seen a strategy that involves going all the way down to here-ish, because if you can get down to this layer, down to the bottom, you can make it all the way up to here. And that actually does have an angle. Kind of. It's close, it's a tight angle, but you can slice the core off the rear, and if you get the shot just enough, you can tip the bottom of the core there, which is, it is physically possible. We've seen that before. It's just not great. So at this point, we've gotten into the trap where both teams are sitting here firing harassment and hybrid weapons at each other, hoping to do anything, too scared to stop it. Like, we're up to 1, 2, 3, we're up to 5 swarm missile launchers and a nuke, and there's just, the damage isn't happening for against Team Stabilizer. It's just, look at that. It's just, yeah, sure, congratulations, you did it, you blew up a sniper. Next. This is something that happens. Eventually someone's gonna figure out that if they build a cannon and shoot directly at the core, bad things happen to their opponents. Very bad things happen to their opponents. Hopefully. Hopefully someone recognizes that at some point. Because otherwise you're kind of just relying on the variance of nukes to do the real damage. Of course, there is the element that you can't leave the bottom of the map completely uncontested, because they'll be able to shoot up on top just a little bit and deal enough damage that getting cannons out is a detrimental and rather unpleasant experience, but I digress. We have AP Sniper trying to take out mortars. We have... I like how during that entire rant, Team Stabilizer has just been eating missiles in the background and has not meaningfully been pushed back. That's actually, they have been pushed back a bit, but they haven't actually broken. They haven't been broken at all. And they also haven't gotten an upgrade to their technology. Like, they don't have a cannon production facility or a laser facility. Team Pro Aim does have a laser facility. They've gotten a fire beam on the field. I'm convinced this fire beam is strictly for AA purposes. Now they're getting a fire beam here, which I imagine is to fire directly across in an effort to also do AA and, well, minor general map control situation. I mean, Team Stabilizer already has AA on the field, so Pro Aim's mortar doesn't do anything there. Those nukes did pretty good damage. They disconnected Stabilizer from the lower node here, which is a good start. Uh-oh. Drunk nuke. Dangerous nuke. Never mind. Crashes into the ground. No damage is dealt. It is worth noting that if Team Pro Aim manages to claim this, or at least prevent Stabilizer from owning this, they will have some substantial advantage here. And they can slowly push their opponents out of the game. It's just going to take a long time. And Stabilizer has all the time in the world to do pretty much whatever they want before they get pushed back. Although at this point, if Team Stabilizer, Team Pro Aim has festered long enough that should Stabilizer attempt to run away and leave that island node, Pro Aim is just going to immediately push forward and cause ridiculous damage. By ridiculous damage, I mean slam all their nukes into this hard wall and break nothing. Hey, one of them finally gets sniped. Okay, so Stabilizer's in a bad position here because they don't have tech. They would, in order to come back from this, they realistically need cannons or lasers. Something that hits actually hard and due to them not having the technology to place those weapons, they're a good 3 minutes out, realistically, before they can get those weapons online. Stabilizer will live for 3 minutes, barring some lucky shot from the nuke. It's just that it's looking quite bad for them. It's looking very bad for them. Here comes the nukes, the swarm missiles, and nuke. Yep, saw that one coming. No damage. Alright, Team Pro Aim. Hey, they're actually doing the thing I was mentioning. They're building all the way down, looking to get line of sight on from below and try to take out the core from below. This is doable. No! Did you guys see that? Holy smokes, Team Pro Aim smacked their own nuke with a sniper, causing it to get drunk, go wild, turn 90 degrees up and around the island into the core. Or at least into the bottom of Team Stabilizer's base. I have genuinely never seen that before on this map. That is not something you see every day. And I'm betting you they're going to try it again. Once they have the next opportunity. That's impressive. Holy smokes, that is impressive. Alright, so my question is, when these mortars fire, 3 heavy mortars from Team Pro Aim, does Stabilizer have meaningful air defenses? Yes. All mortars fall, but so do the air defenses to a sniper. I'm going to see them try that stunt again with a nuke. That's disgusting. It's very disgusting. Alright, Team Pro Aim's laser cannon is coming online right now. This game can be ended with a shot from below. A single shot from below with that laser. Oh, look! No AA. There's a very real possibility that those mortars end the game before that laser does. The laser is ready to fire, but those mortars are threatening to end the game right now. A single strut breaks here. This one, in all of its damage, it snaps. This game ends. The Stabilizer being sliced off of their foundation here. Uh-oh. Oh, you tried. Laser swing and a miss. It has the angle, but didn't quite have the aim. Whoever fired it didn't land the shot they needed. All those buzzsaws not low enough, not able to get the angle they need to hit that shot. Here comes more swarm missiles. No nukes this time. Looks like they're saving their energy. I say they're saving their energy as if they don't have 17,000 energy in the bank. This is... Oh! The laser from below almost removes Stabilizer from this match. Wow. Stabilizer is having a very, very bad day. 16,000 energy and ready to go again. Team Pro Aim not really firing their weapons right now, which is understandable because none of them have realistic angles. They are firing their nukes this time. Are they gonna try the snipe trick again? They're all incendiary? Nope, they just sent all 3 of them hurling through, hoping that RNG works. Did not. The nukes are not slamming into anything from below. Those mortars still threatening to end the game from above. This central pillar still alive, and no direct fire weapons currently on the field for either team, aside from Pro Aim's laser from below. We do have a fire beam plasma beam coming into production for Team Pro Aim. It's about halfway completed at this point. This will begin the process of chopping through the central obstacle. 21-minute heavy weapon. Love to see it. Team Stabilizer still has no heavy weapons. Team Stabilizer has no tech whatsoever. I think they may have given up entirely on winning the game, are instead just trying to stay in it as long as possible for the spite. Which, you know, I can get behind that. More interestingly, Stabilizer, after all these hits, have managed to lose a majority of their mines. They're down to 3 mines. That's not much in the way of economy. Not much in the way of economy at all, as those 3 heavy mortars are still threatening to end the game. I'm telling you, heavy mortars are extraordinarily powerful on this map, and it's entirely why these maps tend to be inundated with anti-air, because heavy mortars are so good you need anti-air to prevent them from existing, and they get hard countered by machine gunners like that. Machine gunner spam. And there it is. Mortars from above. All of this mess, 3 mortars from above end it. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Pro Aim takes round 1 in this best of 3. Excellent. Well, I hope you guys enjoy these matches, because we've got more matches coming up next. As we get through the commander bands once more. The next map is set. Let's do it. What do we have here? If it isn't Kalijah coming in and rejoining the incursion. Congratulations, friend. You've regained access to all the beautiful emotes here on the channel, as well as the special access role on Discord. Welcome back to the party for 47 months. Hello there. My. This has been a good time. Question for chat: How are my mushrooms coming along? They have completed their growth cycle and been consumed. Tasty, tasty mushroom. You tempted to make an AI tournament on this map just to see the insane amount of mortars? I can only imagine. Can only one way to find out. I am actually tempted to go through a lot of the forts maps and make an Incursus AI for each one of them. Obviously, they'd be like a custom map with the AI, so that players could just go play all the vanilla maps, re-download the vanilla maps, but with the AI on it. That seems like a good time to me. AI made by myself because it would be fun. Just to wreak havoc upon the opponents. Thought this could be best of 5? To my understanding, the bronze match is a best of 3, and the finals will be a best of 5. What is Challenge? Challenge is a website meant for handling brackets for tournaments. You can find the challenge by using the bracket command in chat. They give you a direct link to these very same brackets live updating on your own screen. Well, hello there.
Hey, thanks for the great content. What are you drinking today?
Thank you, Cavs. Coming in with that support. I am drinking acai juice. It's tasty juice. I do want tea, though. Like, I actually wanted tea, but I have juice because I didn't have time to steep before the match started. So, we're here now. And by now, I mean, off we go into the next round. Here on the left-hand side, it's one of your favorites, Team Pro Aim. Playing as the Warthog Commander, they're going to be looking for those sweet, tasty, heavy weapons. Whereas their opponents are playing as Seep in Team Stabilizer. Will be attempting to use swarm missiles and rockets to end the game. Now, Seep, known for a bit more early game harassment, known for a bit more game-ending power before the 5-minute mark, whereas Team Pro Aim with Warthog looking to deal that massive damage at cannon o'clock and beyond. Now, you guys may recognize this map, although it's slightly different layout, as this is the 1v1 map of balls. We have these tiny little islands that could be expanded to up and down. Plenty of space for all the expansions and plenty of space for swarm missiles. This is why Team Stabilizer is playing as Seep. All of these little balls around here have plenty of swarm missile opportunities, so we're going to be seeing plenty of those as it goes. My question will be, how quickly does Team Stabilizer run to those swarm missiles? And how quickly does Team Pro Aim rush things? It looks like Team Pro Aim is not particularly keen to rush, which is fair enough. Looks like neither team is particularly keen to rush, going up to 6-7 mines apiece. Now we have Pro Aim expanding to the upper island. There's so many different things you can do. This is one of those maps where there's just so many things you can do that you can only ever do a few of them. It's not a matter of what you can do so much as a matter of what you want to do. That's leaves me with not a whole lot in the predictions in what these players attempt to do. Interesting note, despite Stabilizer playing as the Seep commander, it's actually Team Pro Aim that manages to get the first swarm missile onto the field. Slightly ahead of their opponent, Team Pro Aim has a swarm missile launcher in the upper ball, whereas Team Stabilizer also has a swarm missile launcher in exactly the same place, just slightly further behind. Yeah, so as it seems, Team Pro Aim and Team Stabilizer are doing the exact same build order at very similar timings. The only differences between them is that Pro Aim is slightly further ahead and also playing as the Warthog commander rather than the Seep commander. It is worth noting, the Warthog commander does empower the nuke to make it even more powerful. Whereas Seep commander empowers every missile. Every swarm missile, every rocket is empowered by Seep. There's a few minor differences there. The Seep empowering changes the nuke such that when it dies, the nuke splits in the swarm missiles, giving it more consistent damage, but not as much damage overall. It makes it such that all of the swarm missiles and nukes physically fly faster, allowing the missiles to be much more reliable when they hit their targets, much more reliably hit their targets. Whereas Warthog literally just increases the explosive power of the nukes. That's all it does. So there is, generally speaking, Seep is considered the stronger commander for missiles because of that. But you can't shy away. You can't underestimate Warthog and powered nukes, because nukes are already catastrophic amounts of damage. So here's an interesting note. For those who are familiar with forts and the way the games tend to progress, when you see an extension like this, you know immediately that this is going to be filled with weapons of every kind. Given the nature of the weapons and build orders used for these teams, these weapons, I'm going to call them weapon slots, are going to be filled with machine gunners, snipers, harassment weapons, and AA. And with that, the team who wins will be the team who manages to gain map control. If you destroy all of your opponent's anti-air weapons, then your nukes will be able to land consistently. Your nukes land consistently, you win the game. So this match will come down to whether or not each team can manage to destroy all the AA weapons and gain the map control from their opponents. We see Team Stabilizer destroying all these machine gunners from Team Pro Aim, as we see snipers coming out for both sides. We have an AP sniper for Pro Aim. It's just a matter of who manages to come out on top. Nuke flies freely and lands, which is a terrible sign for Team Stabilizer. Stabilizer losing their minigunner to an AP sniper, which is terrifying. A terrifying prospect. And now that puts Team Pro Aim in the lead, because Team Stabilizer has ostensibly lost all map control. And the nuke is hit. It goes drunk, but doesn't get destroyed, successfully making it across the field, slamming directly into Pro Aim's core, bringing it down to 44% HP. Pro Aim cannot take another hit like that, at all. One more hit like that and they are gone, removed from this game. And that is Stabilizer's goal. So right now Pro Aim absolutely has map control, with better sniping, more machine gunners. Does the nuke make it? No! Massive damage. Stabilizer loses the entire trunk, their entire connection, and they lose access to their expansion. And considering their swarm missiles and nukes were constructed at their expansion, Stabilizer has effectively lost everything. No nukes, no swarm missiles, no offensive potential, no weapon emplacements for AA, no AA at all, no snipers. Stabilizer is in a terrible position right now, and they are going to be scrambling to try to come out and rebuild what they have lost, as they have limited time before Pro Aim relaunches their next set and does even more damage. Here comes another nuke, but with no AA to stop it, they do manage to intercept the nuke by building a set of reactive armor, a set of not reactive armor, but a set of ablative armor extruded from the front of their base, far enough away that the nuke doesn't actually deal game-ending amounts of damage. Keeps them alive this time around. But look at that, the nuke gets shot down out of the sky. Of course, with the seep active ability, the nuke splits in the swarm missile, so it still splits off, takes out a mortar launcher, does a bit of splash damage around, but it's not a nuke amount of damage. Those heavy mortars making it clean across the sky, meant to draw the fire of the AA, are now being repurposed for direct damage because they can, because Stabilizer has no AA. Through all of that, Stabilizer did manage to reconnect to their expansion, and with it, the swarm missiles, and they've reconstructed some of their AA as it goes, but that's not quite a lot. They have one machine gunner. And one machine gunner does not stop 2 swarm missiles, 4 mortars, and a nuke. Once more, Stabilizer tries to send the nuke across, but they do not have the map control for this. Pro Aim has too many gunners. They shoot everything out of the sky, at least everything impactful, and with it, Team Stabilizer gets no damage done. This is not good. Not good at all. Not for Team Stabilizer. The nuke makes it once more across the sky. Team Stabilizer takes another hit. At this point, Team Pro Aim is not aiming for the core, they're not aiming for the eco, they're aiming directly for Stabilizer's expansion. Trying to remove those nuclear launchers at all costs. And so far, they're getting close. They're getting real close. Stabilizer activating the seep ability, trying to get the nukes across. Speedy nuke, empowered nuke, doesn't make it. Team Pro Aim clears the skies once again. So how does Pro Aim carry on from here? At this stage, they have map control. They can fire their nukes as often as they want, which I'm surprised they're not doing right now. There they go. My question is, how do they expand from here? Typically, you would want to be increasing your firepower as much as you can to apply additional pressure. And sometimes you need to expand just a little bit. And by expand, either that means increasing the, getting a new expansion to one of the lower balls here, or maybe batteries, more turbines, more energy production. They definitely could use a little bit more energy production, although it's not an immediate concern. Certainly something they will need to invest in soonish. And in doing so, they'll be able to increase their firepower, or at least the rate of damage output. As it stands, Pro Aim's goal is to apply as much pressure to Stabilizer as possible, which they're not really doing. They're kind of floating metal and energy. A little lax. Oh, terrifying. Through all of that, Team Stabilizer managed to snipe a hole into the point defense of Team Pro Aim. Managed to get their nuke clean across the map, taking out one of Pro Aim's swarm missile launchers. I'm not sure what Pro Aim's immediate goal is, as they're not really firing their weapons at any meaningful rate. The swarm missiles and nuke flying once again, go clean across, everything lands, Stabilizer takes massive damage, the core is exposed, but is not destroyed. Stabilizers are patching things up. Another set of swarm missiles flying across. The nuke does not make it once again. Pro Aim still having all of the map control in the world, shutting everything down that comes their way. Pro Aim just showing a dominant performance here, but they aren't truly capitalizing on their forward position. Yes, they're ahead, but they're not leaning and not applying pressure to Team Stabilizer. Not significantly, and certainly not at the maximum available to their team. There we go. Buzzsaws cutting a bit deep, leaving the core vulnerable, but not exposed just yet. Heavy mortars landing, not dealing any significant damage in the process. Those swarm missile launchers and nukes from Team Pro Aim lie unused. Snipers for every team flying back and forth. Stabilizer now with a middling amount of AA. Seems to be distracted with the mortars. The nuke lands freely, and that's it! It cuts clean across. Team Stabilizer is defeated. Team Pro Aim with the victory. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Team Pro Aim is victorious in this bronze match, best of 3, defeating their opponent Stabilizer 2-0. And well, I'm looking forward to seeing this next match, as the next match coming up will be the finals. The finals are spicy, to say the least. I'm fully expecting a significant amount of firepower from all teams involved. If you guys want to see what it's like to get nuked, well, let's check that out in your favorite slow motion right now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the shot that Team Pro Am was looking to make all this time. They made it, claiming victory in this match. Alright, give us a moment here, ladies and gentlemen, as we set up the next match. The next match will be the finals match, which will be a best of 5. If you guys want to keep up with it, make sure to use that bracket command so you can see the bracket anytime at any place. Alright, it looks like the players are here, which means the bans are commencing as we get prepared for this next best of 5 coming up here in a moment. So don't go anywhere, because we have more matches with some of the best players coming up right now. Hello there, Flying Dutchman. Welcome in. Remember, if you guys want to watch these matches in the native German language, make sure to check out Salzwerk on Twitch. He's currently live, shoutcasting these very same matches in the same lobby, but in German. We raid. Well, perhaps at the end of the stream, we'll find someone to raid. But for now, we have plenty of forts coming up right now. 5 more matches, potentially. Which is kind of a lot, and I'm all here for it. Oh my, Taichi, why? I swear, Taichi, why are you doing this? It's Mateo, isn't it? I don't think that's Mateo. Okay. The chaos. It comes. comes every time. Okay. The bans are happening right now. So we should have moments before the match begins. Tea and Forts live on a day off? Well, welcome in there, Harry. Glad you enjoy. I wish I had my tea today. Let's ask, what kind of tea do you have today? Because now I've got tea on the brain and I want to think about it. I wish to be envious of tea. You play as myself too, or for it soon? Myself, not in this particular live stream. This live stream is the Shoutcast live stream for the WTF Tournament. So you guys get to see the top tier players play their games, while we cast and show you all the plays in the best possible format. Me playing comes a little bit later during our normal stream hours. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the players are ready, the matches are made. It's not true, one of the players is not ready. They haven't readied up yet. We're ready for there they go. Now they're spamming. They're spamming ready and unready. Why are you like this? Alright. Now we're off into the next round, ladies and gentlemen. It is the finals bracket round. The last series, the last match, but not the last round, for this is a best of 5. We're here on the left-hand side. Undefeated so far, it is Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. They'll be playing against their opponent. It is Team Bar, playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. We're going to be seeing some mirror match madness to start us off in this finals match. So I'm expecting exactly the same build order and exactly the same strategies out of both of these players, or both of these teams, I should say. So remember, this is a best of 5, where both teams have 3 players. It functions the same as Archon mode in StarCraft, where all of the assets, all of the control of the singular forts is shared between all 3 players. And this can cause some butting of heads, some wasted APM, some people fighting each other's teammates to get something done. But after all, these are high-level players and they know better than to be counterproductive to the team, right? Surely that never happens. No, that's the kind of chaos you guys are here to see in the WTF format. to see what kind of anti-synergy each of these teams can get themselves into, as we have literally the same builds. Like, it's the same. It's the same. It's everywhere. This is just how this goes. That's not true. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is focusing much more heavily on early game economy, where Team Bar is focusing more on early game tech. This, I suspect Team Bar will translate into some early game aggression, while Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is going to also do early game aggression, but not as quickly as Team Bar, to put it lightly. Yeah, here's Anti-Turbine Alliance getting the upgrade center first, which is not usually what you see first. Usually you see any amount of tech first, because then you can start construction of any kind of weapons that you want to upgrade. Interesting that Anti-Turbine Alliance has gone for mines so quickly, or should I say, heavy economy so quickly. This is one of the German teams, so we do see the extra investment into economy and infrastructure kind of ingrained into their build orders. Well, Bar is already coming out with the EMP. Now, that EMP is going to be upgraded to a rocket, I imagine, fairly quickly. Double shotgun coming out of Team Bar as well. The double shotgun is actually a threat here. Shotguns aren't great at dealing damage. Frankly, they are still harassment weapons, but they can break metal. If they kind of sorta. They can kind of sorta break metal, so they'll start digging if left alone. Yep. Shotguns from above. The shotguns at this point are pretty much just looking to... They're pretty much just looking to gain map control. Their purpose is served just by destroying gunners and keeping the Team Anti-Turbine Alliance suppressed. Because what's going to happen is Team Bar will upgrade themselves to a couple of standard rocket launchers and start launching rockets across the field. Mind you, Anti-Turbine Alliance is keeping themselves intact and alive by utilizing snipers. Despite Bar having incredibly good sniper players on their team, Anti-Turbine Alliance has incredibly skilled sniper players on their team. And they've won every sniper duel, not just every sniper duel. Look at that! They're bullying Team Bar's rockets here. EMP launcher destroyed once again. Bar, with the early double shotgun, loses one of them to the sniper. Anti-Turbine Alliance AP Sniper adding that much extra chaos to the matter, requiring that Bar utilize double doors to keep anything intact. Ooh! Anti-Turbine Alliance losing a sniper to the sniper duel. Not the thing they're looking to see. Now, Anti-Turbine Alliance has successfully completed their Tier 1 tech. Now having a workshop and an upgrade center, Anti-Turbine Alliance has to make the decision. Do they stick on Tier 1 tech and try to get some basic early harassment weapons, upgrade them to those hybrid weapons, things like mortars, things like mortars and buzzsaws, or do they use that tech to step themselves up toward heavy weapons tech? It looks like the answer is going to be using harassment and hybrid weapons, as they have placed their first swarm missile launcher. This map, despite being a sheer cliff, has just enough space to slip in a single swarm missile launcher. In an incredibly great position, it comes from below, which is an extraordinarily difficult position to defend against. Team Bar increasing their firepower not with standard rockets, but instead with heavy mortars, which is my nostalgia. It hits hard, and I like it. Now, this will let Team Anti-Turbine Alliance explode very quickly, as heavy mortars are incredibly powerful, one of the highest DPS weapons on the game. They're just chunking through Anti-Turbine Alliance's base, with Bar's current map superiority wielding due to those double shotguns. Anti-Turbine Alliance does not have sufficient anti-air. It's resulting in Bar just kind of landing those mortars anywhere they want. Mind you, the Benzinpreisvergleicher has managed to utilize an extremely elevated sniper to remove 2 out of 3 of those mortars. With 2 of those mortars down, Anti-Turbine Alliance has successfully quelled the threat to their integrity, which is quite good for them, because otherwise they were going to be having a very, very bad day. So Anti-Turbine Alliance has revealed their hand. They intend to utilize the nuke to deal most of the damage from their team for the foreseeable future. I question whether or not they will upgrade to heavy weapons tech. Perchance howitzers. Howitzer always a good choice. It seems that Bar is investing into much more of that early game weaponry, getting even more shotgun, even more rocket launcher, with some buzzsaws, extra snipers. They're expanding wide and applying additional firepower via mass expansion. Looks like Bar actually lost chunks of their energy production, which is not ideal given that they're utilizing most of their energy production for weapons, because they're firing a lot of weapons due to building a lot of weapons. Whereas Anti-Turbine Alliance, they just have the stronger economy. Honestly, if they could just keep the game stalled out, they should slowly start to pull ahead due to the economic advantage. But it isn't that great of an economic advantage. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance would really want to upgrade their metal production just a little bit if they truly want to get ahead of the curve here. It makes me question what exactly they intend to do. Frankly, a single nuke is unlikely to end the game. As much as a singular nuke is quite good and can end the game, it is an unreliable solution to the problem, mostly because it relies on map control in order to make it across the field, and that's something they don't have. Mind you, looking at the specific positions of the AA on Team Bar, I suspect that nuke would be able to make it across more often than not, which is good for them, but that can change at any point in time. What are your plans here on the left? Well, for one, they're going to be firing their nuke. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why drunk nukes are the most devastating thing in this game. And just like that, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance takes round 1 in this best of 5. So that was wild. Haven't seen one of those in quite some time. Certainly nothing that crazy. Let's go ahead and see exactly what happened there. With nuke after nuke going drunk, and a single nuke just devastatingly effective. It's, oh geez, alright. Can hear it, raging in anger. Dip, duck, dodging and dodging again. Through just enough of the anti-air to go wild. Directly back into the core. Yeah, that's that happens. That happened, and that's devastatingly effective. So, this is why truck nukes are scary. It's why nukes are very inconsistent. You don't see that kind of thing every day, but that happens. And then they win a match. So round 1 goes to... Oh, no. Okay, we're getting set up for the next one. That was disgusting? Yes. Yes, it was very disgusting. And we're off. Once more into the fray. Here on the left-hand side, getting destroyed by the randomest of drunk nukes, they're playing once again as the Pinchfist commander. Team Bar will be looking to rush their way to a quick cannon o'clock and deal as much damage as possible. Whereas their opponents on the opposite side in the red, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance, what seemed to be on the back foot in the last match was completely turned around with the wildest, craziest of missile launches. Will they be able to come out on top? What I want to know is Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is playing as the Firebird commander, and I really want to know what their strategy here is with that, because the Firebird commander is not known for having much in the way of strong strategies. Meme strategies, yes. Fun strategies, also yes. But good strategies, not so much. Probably the most known strategy, most common, is what I like to call the white phosphorus build for Firebird. This build utilizes the smoke launcher combined with the Firebird active ability to burn targets using smoke. Now, if you guys are familiar with the smoke launcher, its effects are very simple. Anything under the smoke effect on the target will be irreparable and cannot be extinguished. So let's say if something on Team Bar's base were burning and under the effect of the smoke, you cannot prevent it from burning until the smoke wears off. Similarly, you cannot repair, you cannot build into the smoke. It is a full lockout of construction and interaction of any kind. So what you will do is you will utilize this Firebird ability to ignite the base with smoke and watch the base burn to the ground using the smoke, thus the white phosphorus name. Why are you like this? Okay, well, looks like we're going to have some wild strats for both teams here. Team Bar going with a particularly greedy... I don't know if greedy is the right word. This is an older style rush that I have seen a fair few times. It's kind of fallen out of favor, just because it leaves the base incredibly vulnerable. But two greedy shotgun quick rush here. Double shotgun out of Team Bar. Double shotgun not known for causing massive amounts of damage, but certainly good at suppressing their opponents. Double shotgun and a minigun cleaving through the turbine stack of Anti-Turbine Alliance. Anti-Turbine Alliance did see the push coming, though I suspect they were going to be defending against rockets because they well, frankly, this build is most known for rockets early game rather than shotguns, but the shotgun starter definitely threw off Anti-Turbine Alliance and cost them their own turbines, which is quite fun. It's not something you see every day. I suspect Anti-Turbine Alliance is going to continue to defend against this as if it were rockets incoming. Probably because it is rockets incoming. It's just that Team Bar opened up with the shotguns first. Typically, you would swap the positions of these two. You would get the rockets first, send those rockets early on so you could try to get that alpha strike in there. And then from above, you use the shotgun so you can get that top-down angle and try to get the shotgun blasts into this lower gaps. So I am a little confused to see these down here, but getting these here first does mean that you can get those early shots with shotguns and blow through the defenses, take out turbines, and really anything else that's vulnerable. So I'm not like going to negatively criticize it or anything. It's just unusual. It's weird. As here come the rockets, mostly mitigated. Oh yeah, shotguns blew through that one. That's an unpleasant experience. Oh ho ho! The recoil and the weight of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. Their base is having a bad time. It's near collapse, but it does have stability tech, and that stability tech is going to keep them alive and intact for the time being. A single incendiary mortar out of Anti-Turbine Alliance will signify their spite toward their opponents, but do nothing else. Team Bar already has AA in place. Wow. Anti-Turbine Alliance activating the Firebird ability, but they don't have any reason to do so. Is this simply a wasted ability? I suspect as much, as Anti-Turbine Alliance has no weapons which they can use to ignite their opponent's base. And with it, that's just their ability. It did nothing. They're gonna have to wait for it to recharge, which I suspect won't be too big of a concern, as they're about to get pummeled super hard, and every time you take damage, it charges your commander ability. Oh god, Bar is expanding even more. Look at that, getting probably 2 more rocket launchers added in. You do not have the energy production for this. Bar, you desperately need to increase your turbines, your turbine layer. Probably upgrade them as well. Oh my gosh, another rocket launcher and 2 more buzzsaws added on. Those suckers are energy hungry. You can't just do that. It won't help you. You can't shoot that much. There's too many things, not enough turbines. Well, they have them anyways, and they'll be investing in turbines sooner or later. Another EMP flies across. Incredible hit. Disabling chunks of the AA. Buzzsaws are a terrifying weapon in this scenario. The entirety of Anti-Turbine Alliance's base is made out of wood, not a single chunk of metal anywhere. It looks like Anti-Turbine Alliance has activated the commander ability again. This time they're hanging on the sniper, looking to ignite as much as they can with the incendiary sniper rounds. But they lose the sniper duel. And with it they have nothing serious. A single buzzsaw round from Anti-Turbine Alliance chops off Bar's top half, causing a bit of secondary explosions across the base as everything collapses in upon itself. Bar loses 2 of their rocket launchers in that, which is a significant chunk of their firepower. In fact, that was a majority of their firepower. That'll give Anti-Turbine Alliance enough breathing room to do pretty much whatever they want. Interesting note, Anti-Turbine Alliance, rather than going with the white phosphorus build, is going to be going mass incendiary mortars. Incendiary mortars are empowered, very similar to the Warthog empowerment. They are empowered by Firebird, dealing a little bit more damage and increasing the damage output and effect of the incendiary element of the mortars. So we're going to be seeing mass incendiary mortar, which is just looking to overwhelm the point defense of the opponents and burn everything to the ground from the top down. This can be pretty rightly hard countered by metal. if you have like a metal roof, metal ceiling, I'll shut that down. Can also be hard countered by snipers. Well, that's unfortunate for Anti-Turbine Alliance. Actually getting some proper defenses now in front of those mortars. Alright, Anti-Turbine Alliance activating their commander ability and sending those mortars across. At least what few survive, but they only have 4 mortars. That's not going to be enough to get through all that AA. Team Bar is stacked on anti-air, and they're not looking to change that anytime soon. Yeah, nothing gets through. Not a single mortar shell gets through. Bar's defenses. You need much, much more mortar than that. The mortars look well aimed, so that's cool. Another note, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance will need more turbines in order to constantly fire all of those mortars. Mortars like this, especially incendiary mortars, require time to slowly burn the enemy's base down, so you have to be firing constantly. Never a moment where you're not firing your mortars. And for that, you need significant energy production. And Anti-Turbine Alliance just doesn't have it, as they don't have anything left at all. In a very satisfying collapse, Bar comes in with a single buzzsaw and takes the victory for themselves. Quite the enjoyable end to that round. Check out this collapse in slow motion so you can see what a crunching fort looks like. A beautiful hit right to the foundation, right to the critical load-bearing struts. And it all comes crumbling down. And we're off. Off to the races. Why are you not loading? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 3 in this best of 5. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance on the left-hand side of Pillars are looking to get themselves ahead, as both teams are 1-1 in the scores. Team Bar playing in this mirror match. It is some hot spook on spook action. I am curious to see how this will change out. Pillars is not a particularly popular map. It is quite well known, as we have the early game sniper pinging back and forth. The sniper duel begins. Pillars is, I'm going to say, unique in that it is exceptionally vulnerable to buzzsaws or early game harassment, just because the core is placed in a way that makes it largely indefensible. To my knowledge, there has been no great core swing strategy, which has enabled this core to be reliably moved back into a more defensible position, such that it is defensible without sacrificing the build speed to a degree that the players are forever behind. After all, what good is having a defensible position if you can't defend it due to not having any defenses? Funny how that works, isn't it? So we're not going to see much in the way of core swings here. I can only imagine, but only one way to find out. Yeah. Looks like the turbine extrusion is being constructed for both teams here. A very vertical map? Yes, it is a very vertical map. Interesting decision. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is going for an early upgrade center. Anti-Turbine Alliance has been doing this fairly consistently throughout the matches so far. Or fairly often, I think is a better word to describe it. They've had some success with it. They have definitely had some success with it. I hesitate to say it's a good strategy, not because it's a bad strategy, but because their opponents, especially their opponents, have been more than capable of obliterating them for attempting to do so. I mean, they get the early upgrade sensor, they upgrade their mines, they upgrade their turbines, they go with the mine upgrade. Like, they have reshifted around these mines. So to give it in perspective, like, notice this mine, for example, here is in the middle between these two nodes. It's taking up, it's offset such that you cannot place a mine to either side. However, if you sell off that mine, you now have enough room to place 2 mines, assuming you shift them appropriately and better fit it to the region. This is what Anti-Turbine Alliance has done all the way down. God, they've gone up to 8 mines, 4 of which were upgraded. Knowing them, they're going to continue doing it. It's like, if you notice, Bar has not done that same thing. They're still on 6 mines, none of which are upgraded. Whereas Team Bar has gone straight weapons. In a standard, classic, heavy weapons rush, they're going to have a howitzer and a cannon on the field at Canada clock. And it's actually a little bit behind Canada clock. They did upgrade their eco a little bit. But once it hits, it's going to deal incredible damage. And Team Anti-Turbine Alliance hasn't even started their next level of tech. They're halfway through Tier 1, let alone getting to Tier 2, let alone getting weapons placed. But hey, they have 8 upgraded mines, which is kind of a lot of eco. They also have 6 wind turbines, which is kind of a lot of energy production. So if the game goes long, if Team Bar doesn't end the game very quickly, like in the next 120 seconds-ish, or deal massive amounts of eco damage, then Team Anti-Turbine Alliance will just kind of run away with it. We can already see Team Anti-Turbine Alliance utilizing that resource generation to mass expand, create these massive defenses in front of their fort. They're already starting with the howitzer defenses. This is... Team Bar has limited time to do this. And oh boy, are they trying. Team Bar adding in a second standard cannon, bringing them up to a grand total of 1 howitzer, 2 cannons, 3 buzzsaws, and a mortar. A single incendiary mortar just to bait AA. When Bar opens fire here, this is going to be potentially devastating. Looks like Bar is not going to save for a total alpha strike. Just going to go 50% powered with their opening volley here in an effort to get any amount of damage done while they await the rest of their weaponry. Yeah, Bar desperately needs energy production to manage this. Anti-Turbine Alliance getting set up with a... Oh, so close. He's set up with a shotgun. Oh, yeah, cannon too. Cannon to finish that off. Alright, their howitzer is ready. There's one of their cannons is reloading. The second one is about to come online. They are prepared for full alpha strike. They are not prepared for full alpha strike. They do not have the energy for it. But there's no anti-air on the field for Anti-Turbine Alliance. Looks like they go in alpha strike time. Nope. Not enough energy. So remember when I was saying like 120 seconds to end the game? Team Bar, they're coming right up on the edge of that timer. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is spending their money, and it's getting more and more intense. As you can see, there's an entire line of metal here, which is now added in and going to be in the way of Bar's efforts. Buzzsaws can't penetrate that. And without that level of penetration, there's not really an opportunity for Bar to break through anymore. But oh boy, they're trying. Yeah, look at that. It's holding. Team Bar doesn't have the ability to penetrate Anti-Turbine Alliance defenses at this point in time, and it's only going to get worse for Team Bar. They desperately need to save up enough energy for a massive alpha strike. They try to penetrate deep and break something expensive. Oh no. A direct hit onto the shotgun with the mortar. Not enough to break it. Oh god, the sniping out of Team Bar is brutal. Alright, that's a good hit. Alright, Team Bar has the eco, but they're opening with the cannons, which is an interesting decision. Typically you want to fire the howitzer first, because the howitzer does the massive splash damage, which enables the cannons to actually penetrate beyond the first layer of armor. And if cannons penetrate, they can deal some very real damage to the internal components. But at this point, Anti-Turbine Alliance is starting to work on a second layer of metal armor. The buzzsaws break through, chopping off the bottom elements of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance's base. The howitzer lands, blowing open the outer layer of armor, the freshly added outer layer of armor. But they still have to break through the inner layer. Dropping in from above, they manage to scratch their opponent's core. Anti-Turbine Alliance down to 98% core, with buzzsaws threatening to disconnect the lower elements of Anti-Turbine Alliance's eco. But with no follow-up, Bar doesn't have the ability to break things and deal real damage. Anti-Turbine Alliance now has a successfully completed laser production facility. They will be able to add in fire beams and plasma cannons coming up here momentarily. Double cannons actually penetrate, but they over-penetrate and hit the wall behind, dealing 0 damage. Slightly higher or lower on the aim, and this Anti-Turbine Alliance would be hurting, having potentially lost 2 of their mines. Bar is adding in a 3rd cannon, which would actually enable some penetration here. Some actually deep penetration here. That could be terrifying amounts of damage. This is not... Oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous for both teams here. Anti-Turbine Alliance is penetrated but not broken. Another cannon round captured by the armor of Team Blue. Oh. Hey, that's a hit. Team Bar, for the first time, fully penetrates Anti-Turbine Alliance armor, taking out 1 mine. And again, the armor not repaired, Anti-Turbine Alliance loses a 2nd mine, bringing them down to 6 upgraded mines, which are immediately replaced. But that's still time and energy spent on it. Oof. Bar is trying to ramp up their firepower as much as they can. At this point, I think Bar has decided they can't get to the core. They have too much armor there. They have to break around the edges. Anti-Turbine Alliance is running away, getting further and further ahead. Bar is now aiming directly for the economy and metal production of Team Anti-Turbine Alliance to some success. Not enough success is their problem, as Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is taking this opportunity. I'm sorry, you what, mate? This is... I'm trying to visualize what could possibly have happened there. We need the replay for this. You what? What kind of drop shot from below? Excuse me. Where is this? Okay. So this is the shot that does it. It's coming from below. Slow this down to 16th speed. He's gonna need it. How is that in the hitbox? Excuse me? Excuse me, what? How is that in the hitbox? I don't... That comes from so far below and arcs down. So, okay. So the hitbox of the core... The hitbox of the core is not all of this. Like, as you can see, it's pushing through the top of the wood here. This is just cosmetic. This is just cosmetic here. It isn't the hitbox of the core. The hitbox of the core is just the circle here. It's just the circle. All the way down here. Even this little bit up top it's just the circle. This way... What? Okay, so it's a parabolic curve, goes down, just straight passes through this wood here. That is pixels of precision. I'm sorry? Okay, well, either way, there we have it. There we have it. 2-1. Good God. That is wild. Oh, jeez. This is crazy is what this is. Team Bar going up 2-1 over their opponents. You know what that means? That means this is match point for Team Bar. As we go into the next rounds. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance needs to win this match or they are knocked down and take second place in this tournament. If Team Bar manages to... I'm now just getting the reason why it's called Team Bar. Okay, I get it. I get it now. I understand. Took me all this time. Took me all this time. Wow. Okay, this has been ridiculous. This has been absolutely ridiculous. But as always, now we're off to the next round. Of this best of 5, Team Bar is up 2-1, making this match points. If Team Bar here on the left-hand side manages to claim victory in this round, they will claim victory not just in this match, but this entire tournament, taking them up to first place, knocking their opponent's Team Anti-Turbine Alliance down to second place in this final. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance trying not to let that happen. Looking to take out their opponents and even the scores to bring this to the final match, the decider. I'm still thinking about that last round. That was so incredibly thin of a shot. Are you doing this? Or are you just selling? I think he's just selling. I think he's just doing pinch fist things. Okay. Team Bar is selling off massive components and innards of their base because they're playing pinch fist and they're using those early start resources to boost their production, economy, and technology that much more forward. Whereas Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is playing as the Shockonaut Commander. Shockonaut Commander is not as obnoxious as it once was, thank you. But the Shockonaut Commander specializes in upgrading your hybrid weapons to heavy weapons. So typically, with the Shockonaut Commander, you'll go mass fire beams or mass 20mm cannons. And then, during the active ability, those hybrid weapons will become upgraded to their heavy weapon counterparts. Let's say fire beams will become temporarily plasma cannons. 20mm cannons will become temporarily the massive cannons, the massive standard cannons. And with it, they can allow the Anti-Turbine Alliance players to get a faster... Okay, that was a mistake. Well done, team. That would allow the Anti-Turbine Alliance players to cheaply and quickly get standard cannons on the field by virtue of using hybrid cannons, which is quite effective. Very strong strat, it's quite popular. Quick note, the Shockonaut Commander also has the ability to construct barrels. I'm gonna watch this until you guys get this. You'll get it one day. Today may not be that day, but you'll get it one day. There you go. There you go. Alright, Shotgun has the ability to construct barrels. Barrels are basically tiny cores. For the purposes of victory, of win condition, they do not count as core health, but they otherwise function just as cores do. You notice there's no connection to these cores, but still the players have access to control it. It's very fun, very neat little gimmick. Comes highly effective. You'll love it. However, what it doesn't do is it doesn't win the game. It doesn't shoot at the opponents, and wouldn't you know it, Team Anti-Turbine Alliance has spent so much time and effort on expanding down here. Team Bar is just going to blow them up. Team Bar coming in with the triple mortar, as well as triple swarm missile, are beginning to apply pressure to their opponents, looking to end out this game with some early aggression. They've got buzzsaws, a line of snipers, one for each player. This is shaping up to be incredible amounts of firepower coming out of Team Bar. I do not see Team Anti-Turbine Alliance surviving the next few minutes if they don't do something. They don't do something now. Those machine gunners will be enough to keep the mortars at bay, but they won't be is enough to keep. But they won't be is enough to keep the to keep everything at bay. Because Bar's got 2 swarm missile launchers, a nuclear launcher, and 3 mortars, which could be upgraded to heavy mortars at any point in time. Bar has enough weapons that they will need to upgrade their energy production if they intend to field those weapons. But what's this? Shakana active ability coming in. With the active ability, Shakana disables enemy energy production for its duration. At least most of it. Technically, it does a percentage of it. In this case, it's most of the energy production. So that's going to be a bit of a slowdown for Team Bar. Team Bar suffering for energy because they just don't have enough turbines to keep up with the energy requirements of firing all of those missiles all at the same time. However, those snipers doing great work. Winning their sniper duels, clearing out flak, clearing out AA everywhere. Alright, you missed twice. Can you get a third? There you go. There you go. The nukes and the swarms launched. The first nuke flies across the sky and lands directly on the core. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance down to 82%. Down to 82% on their core. Which is not exactly what you're looking for in this instance. Gonna leave this open for reasons. Oh no, another volley. This time it's everything. All mortars are launched, all swarms are launched, all nukes are launched. Incoming. Massive damage. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance down to 32%. Team Bar going directly for the kill, aiming at the central core. Looking to end the game before Anti-Turbine Alliance has an opportunity to start playing. Anti-Turbine Alliance again investing heavily into eco, getting mines in every expansion, getting AA in every field. But what they've lost in all of this, they've still managed to lose out on map control, despite having an entire extra expansion over Team Bar. What they don't have is enough gunners on the field. They've lost the sniper war. They've lost machine gunners. There's nothing to stop these nukes from landing. A couple machine gunners try, but they don't make it. Anti-Turbine Alliance down to 22% and dropping. Flames erupt throughout their main base. Looks like they managed to put them out before the entire base crumbles, but this is not a good position for Team Anti-Turbine Alliance. Again, Anti-Turbine Alliance activates their commander ability not for offensive reasons, but just to shut down those turbines and buy them a little bit of time, hoping to delay the nuclear launch once more, but it's not quite enough. Bar just has crazy energy production, and with it, another nuke lands, but they're able to just barely ward it off, getting the space armor just spaced enough to keep their core alive. Down to 12% and dropping. Buzzsaws looking to cut through all that spaced armor and clear the way for the next volley. The mortars are continuously firing, targeting the main base, keeping the anti-air and the point defense distracted, allowing it to be overheated and overwhelmed as once again the nukes fly. There's no spaced armor remaining. If that nuke lands, if the AA doesn't do it, direct hit. Team Anti-Turbine Alliance is defeated. 8 minutes, 9 seconds, a nuke straight to the core. Team Bar wins this best of 5, 3-1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the WTF Co-op Tournament. Congratulations, team. Beyond all reason, you have won first place in this tournament, and with it, all the glory and the badge to go with it, fighting through those tasty, delicious anti-synergist moment, fighting each other, fighting the team, because that's how that works, trying to make it all the way to the end and succeeding. Let's watch that nuke snake its way directly to the core in your favorite replay mode. Because this is how nukes are made. Kaboom. Well done, well done. Very, very well done. Big shout out to all the competitors here in the WTF Co-op Tournament. This has been a great exhibition of great plays and, frankly, astoundingly unexpected shots fired. Cannons have been a catastrophe to the imagination here. It's been massive. Well done, everyone. Thank you, one and all, for stopping by as we have Team Bar successfully taking first place. Anti-Turbine Alliance in second, Pro Aim in third, and Team Stabilizer taking up fourth. Well played, everyone. Thank you, thank you. It has been a great showcase here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Remember, make sure to stop by later tonight for our live stream going live, for our live stream during these standard live stream hours. But for now, that is going to wrap things up here for the stream side of things, and we'll be back soon. But for now, have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you guys later.